Well, this is a special meeting of the Knoxville Transportation Authority to order. Regrettably, the topic of this meeting, the only topic of this meeting is proposed service reductions.
A resolution of the Knoxville Transportation Authority recommending approval of, can't do this too fast. I need to add in service changes effective only until CAT is able to return to full service levels. Elimination of routes 10 Sequoia and 19 Lakeshore Lomas. Reduction of all Sunday service schedules with the last downtown departures at 5:15 p.m. All weekday and Saturday evening service ending earlier with the exception of core routes 11, 12, 22, 31, and 41 continuing through an 11:15 p.m. lineup. Reduced hours on Route 13 Beaumont. Reduced weekday frequency on Route 42 UT Fort Sanders Hospitals. Reduced frequency on Orange Line from 15 minutes to 30 minutes and Green Line trolleys from 10 minutes to 20 minutes. Lift area service area to remain the same, as well as weekday and Saturday hours. Lift service would end on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. in conjunction with fixed route services.
This is a workforce shortage, mainly due to operator shortage. We have 154 operators. We need 200 to operate full service, which we have not operated full service since November of 2020. Just over the last 6 months, we've extended 66 offers of employment. We hired 31 of those employees as operators, and we still have 20 of those operators still working for CAT. Also, over the last 6 months, we've had 13,600 hours of overtime to maintain just the service we're currently providing. The big issue we're having is those individuals are getting their CDL permit. That's where the main issue is for us. In the employees that we're hiring, they're not able to obtain the CDL permit, therefore we can't.
And for those in the audience, CDL, commercial driver's license.
Yes. We wanted to keep our mainline routes operating as much as possible during the day to make sure people can get to the jobs, to get to the grocery store, medical appointments, and whatnot.
Tried to be as strategic as we could, and I think we talked about this in June, to look at where we can make reductions that would have the least impact on the fewest amount of people. So that's why we really focused more on evening, on Sunday, which has the lower ridership levels. It also has the lower service levels. So there's, kind of a connection there as well that we have to recognize. But
yeah, most of our recruiting is taking place on social media through Facebook, Twitter. I think we've ran some social radio ads as well. We've also had some billboards put up, but mainly we're doing it through social media. CEC is partnering with us to provide that transportation as best they possibly can. Customers that are affected by this can call CEC and they're going to work with them. We're going to work with them, these customers as well, trying to get them trips.
Would you tell them who CEC is, just in case?
Yeah, they're another provider here in Knox County, providing transportation, especially work-related trips. You schedule in advance, they'll come pick you up.
Do you have some sort of program, incentive, or any mechanism to have current employees benefit from referring those who actually get hired?
I think we were able to hire one employer referral. We gave a bonus to the employee that gave the referral. I think this is really a wage issue for us.
Last meeting, we discussed the starting wage to be approximately $16 an hour with some change. Are there ongoing discussions about potentially increasing that, and how much would it need to get increased to be more competitive?
Yeah. So
let me interject.
Sorry.
Negotiations with the union are ongoing at this moment. I would say as its council, there are discussions ongoing, and wages are at the top of that list. Employment concerns, recruitment is handled by K-Trans Management Incorporated. I do represent that entity, and they are dealing with that on a daily basis.
we know wages is an issue. That is number one priority, not just for entry level, but all employees.
What was the current wage?
Yeah, it's 1640. Agencies around here, I think that's low. Most comparable agency we have is probably Chattanooga.
Understanding this is not a financial, this is a resource issue.
Correct. Yeah. This is all being driven by a workforce shortage.
You said one of the major issues is the lack of folks being able to get a CDL. Is that they take the test and they just don't pass the test?
If they don't pass the test. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is primarily in all agencies across America. You have to take home that CDL book. We train them once they get their burn detection, how to drive the bus. This is a written test that they have to pass to get their CDL.
If I call your name, if you'll step up to the microphone, give your name and address. You'll have 5 minutes to make your comments, and I will remind you at the end of that 5 minutes. And this is a comment, not a quick Q&A session, so we want to hear your comments.
I keep hearing that this is not a budget or funding or financing issue. Are you saying that if CAT had an infinite budget and paid drivers 200% of the average median income, that we would still have a driver shortage? I don't see how that's possible. I also hear folks blaming low ridership for the loss of these routes. Low ridership is the fault of the system. It is not the fault of the riders. If buses aren't frequent enough, if they can't get you home from your late Saturday shift, you have to own a car to go to work. There's just that 1 day a week that the bus service just got cut from. Why wouldn't you rather take your car than drive a bus that might be unreliable or take a long time because routes are being cut? I wish that CAT would present a budget that would create good public transportation in Knoxville and then make our city leaders argue against you, rather than coming to the public and asking the riders to choose between two different kinds of cuts. By cutting these routes, you're going to cut ridership further, and then cutting ridership, lower ridership will be another excuse to not adequately fund this city service that's so crucial. We know that we need to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We know that electric buses are good at that. And here we are, cutting something that saves money for people, that saves money for our city even, rather than investing.
There seems to be a problem. The drivers are upset with the management. If you would have 2 meetings each for the morning drivers and the afternoon evening drivers, just call it a drive session. Also the same thing for management employees. And this will give you an idea of what the problems are and a way to resolve them. It may take a facilitator to come in to bring these groups together.
Hello, Knoxville Transportation Authority. My name is Ben Kredich, and I take the number 10 Sequoia Hills bus several times each week to and from my jobs on UT campus and downtown. I also catch the number 10 bus after I close Treetop Coffee Shop to meet my dad at Sunspot for dinner because the fries are my favorite. I started taking the number 10 CAT bus in 2017 when I started attending the UT Future program before I lived next to campus my junior and senior years. All the bus drivers like Tamika, Tina, and Leonard have always been kind and have always been so kind to me. I understand why my neighborhood bus route might disappear for a while, but I don't want it to go away forever. The number 10 bus stop takes me a half dozen minutes to walk to and is safe. The number 11 bus stop takes me 3 dozen minutes to walk to, and it's sketchy because cars drive so fast on Kingston Pike. Thank you.
Thank you.
With great respect to Mr. Kredich, thank you for coming and speaking today.
You're welcome.
And I appreciate your passion for the route in particular. I think your comment was it may be disappearing for a while. I don't know that we're talking about permanent reductions at all here, but this is in response to severe labor shortage issues. So that's my comments, and I'll make a recommendation to approve the resolution as stated.
Here's a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Motion passed.